The 50th anniversary of VE Day is, of course, next Monday. Special celebrations have been organised throughout the country to mark the end of the war in Europe. But for many people, it will be a sad occasion too, as they remember the horrors of war and the loved ones they lost. Tonight, Ronnie Convey begins a series of reports on those for whom VE Day has a special significance.
John and Margaret Lyden look like any other couple as they walk in a Glasgow park. They're not. Their lives have been defined by the place they met, Belsen. At Liberation, John Lyden and his fellow troops found an estimated 17,000 corpses lying in pits and another 10,000 unburied bodies.
I don't know how you could explain to anyone what Belsen was like unless you were there yourself to witness the stench, the prisoners, the people dying everywhere you looked. Every turn you could see someone just drop over. The piles of dead. But the greatest thing that happened was that we were there, we liberated Belsen on time, because had the Liberation Day been one day later, I don't think I would have met Margaret. She was so ill with typhus.
Margaret's ordeal began a year before when her native Hungary fell into Nazi hands.
The day they walked on us, lunchtime, we were having our lunch, and walked in with rifles and machine guns. At home, we were peacefully having our lunch.
Before arriving at Belsen, Margaret and her family were taken to the death camp at Auschwitz.
The day we arrived, that's the last time I see my parents. My father was starving, my mother was starving, all of us were starving. And my father wouldn't eat his bread. He told us leave to have it, because he says, you need it more than me.
Now, what did they say to you when you got to Auschwitz? Did they separate you immediately?
We had they were shattered, they were white pale as a ghost, the two of them, and they just looked at us, and we looked at them, and nothing more we could say.
You never saw them again?
Nothing more.
Despite the unbelievable horrors that surrounded them, love blossomed amid the stench of death.
I'll never forget that day. That was the luckiest day and the greatest day of my life, because Margaret she's been the most wonderful woman to me and the family. She's the greatest family woman, the girl in this circle, the greatest family girl in this world.
So does this prove love at first sight really happened?
It was.
Definitely.
It was. There's no doubt about it. We were very much in love at that particular time. We still are.
Margaret and John's joy was being mirrored 400 miles away as Britain marked VE Day. But even in the camp itself, the 8th of May was a day of celebration.
I shouted, we're free, we are free. And the tears were rushing out of my eyes, but it was sore. The tears were sore.
Overjoyed.
50 years on, that love story continues. The experiences of Belsen unite John and Margaret in a common mission.
I feel it's very much so. To remind them and not to forget. Never.
Would you fear that it could happen again?
It happened before. It happened before.
And Ronnie Convey will have another of his special reports looking back at VE Day tomorrow night.